So hello and welcome back to the second part of this drama that has been going on. So I sort of feel like maybe he saw the last video. I wouldn't know how because we don't really have any mutual friends who could show it to him, and I've blocked him on all my social media. So whatever. And I just, today's one of those days where I'm a little stressed out and I'm feeling, a little bit bad because he sent me a message on WhatsApp. So I did block him from my phone number. And then on WhatsApp, he sent me a message. He sent it to me last night, I don't know, around 1 or 2 a.m. I wasn't awake, so I didn't see it until this morning. But I'm actually going to read a little bit of it because I'm so tired of him feeling like he's going to threaten me with these just dumb things and that I'm not going to, say something or fight back or whatever, because I am, because that's my personality. So a little bit, so I don't, obviously there's, names in here and stuff, so it's going to seem like I'm, weird, but whatever. He basically tells me that I need to stop telling lies or telling my truth, and your truth is in quotation marks. I'm not a psychopath, but maybe you are. I didn't hit you. Tell people how you attacked my son. Tell the truth. Stop with the lies. Talk about how you scream all the time and how you made my son cry. Talk about how you are rage-filled. You make it seem like I beat you up when all I did was try and get you out of my house. If you keep talking trash, then I'll tell my version and all the shit you talk about your friends. How you steal from, the names here, I'm just going to say my ex-husband, how I had sex with him, that's not the word he uses, in his bed to get back at him. Don't play the victim when you were the aggressor. I know how to reach people and I'll defend myself from your lies. Then he basically sends me a recording that he entitles Screaming Psychopath, and it's very long. It was actually a 47-minute conversation of me yelling at him over something that he did. So a precursor to that is basically I had planned on doing a YouTube channel for real estate, not for vlogging, and he was going to do all the editing and the filming because that's what he does in his actual job. And it was fine and dandy, but he never was getting around to doing any of the editing. And I understand, obviously he's a single dad and he, has a job and he has to cook and clean and all the things that we're doing all day. So I got it. So my whole thing was I'm not going to launch the channel until we have, 6 to 8 of them completed 100%. So that I could, upload them, 1 a week or 2 a week, whatever it was, to give him that buffer so that he would have time to complete more as we were going along. And it seemed sensible. So, we started this at the end of December, and this conversation that he recorded of me without my consent and knowledge was, I think, mid-February. I'm not really sure. There's not a date on it. I'm pretty sure that's when it was. It wasn't that long ago. And just so you know, I'm completely stressed out over other things also, not just because he didn't do this editing. But I wanted to play a clip of it so that you can hear what he considers, raging, because he thinks that yelling at someone is raging. And then I can go back and talk about, what his belief system is on what happened the day that he, hit me, because he completely believes that he didn't do anything and completely believes that I was attacking his son, which I wasn't. Not even remotely. I was attempting to talk to his son, didn't get 3 words out before he came barreling in. And that's because I was telling his son a truth that he didn't want to be known to his son, because that's sort of how it goes. Because obviously over 2.5 years, I've had many conversations with his child, and he's never had a problem with me talking to him before. So, let's just clear that up. And then we can get to all the other things about how I don't steal. And I did have sex with my boyfriend in my ex-husband's bed. That's true. He hadn't slept in it yet. And so I kind of felt like it was, in that way it was okay. And it was kind of for the fun of it. It was right as we started dating. But at the beginning of our relationship, he was still married. which I didn't know. So if anyone did anything wrong, it was him, because he had to lie to his wife about what he was going to do. So whatever. So now everyone knows. Big effing deal. It's like having sex in your parents' bed. I mean, it's gross, maybe kind of whatever, but like, who cares? Like, I'm an adult. Like, geez, really? God, shut up. So anyway, I'm gonna play a little bit. Again, I do like to swear. That's a total thing. So if they're swearing, I apologize. Like, I'm not gonna play obviously all of it, and I can't anyway, because there's lots of names, you know, that I'm using in it. Not name calling, but I mean like names of people. So anyway, here we go.
Why? Because you don't give a but even stomach that I would help. That I would clean, I would fold laundry, I would do whatever it took so you would work. And what did you do? Not anything for me. Nope. You took that time to fuck off. And you thought it was perfectly okay. Except the sickening thing is that you knew it wasn't, which is why you didn't tell me when I spoke to you earlier. Because you knew. You knew what I would say. So, but what you did was okay, right? Yeah. It's not. That's why you feel that way. Don't you get it? Do you not understand human emotion? That's why you don't tell people shit. Because you know what you do is wrong. But you do it anyway because you don't give a fuck.
Okay, so I'm just gonna stop it there, you know, just whatever. And what's interesting actually in this recording, of which he, by the way, threatened me with also the fact that he has many more of those recordings, which I would love to hear, is that later on in that recording, I'm calm and whatever, and he baits me into yelling at him again. And he did the same thing with his ex-wife. I mean, I don't know about the baiting part, but I've heard recordings and seen hidden videos of her. And in the recordings, he, you know, makes it seem like he, you know, sets it up and then makes it seem like, you know, she's a lunatic, basically. And, you know, I don't know if she's a lunatic. And I remember once saying to him, yeah, but this is just a brief, you know, moment of what was going on. You know, I don't know what happened before. I don't know what happened after. I mean, I can't base an entire opinion on one little clip. And I mean, I'm sure he has more of these clips. I mean, I don't deny that I yelled at him 100%. He's aggravating, completely aggravating. I mean, in that specific day, like the day before, or 2 days even before that, I, you know, come to his house because he works from home. Some days now, he does every day. And you know, I cleaned his kitchen and I put away laundry and did all these things so that, you know, he would have these hours where he could, you know, work. And what he decided to do was something completely not for me. And again, I would have been okay with any part of that if he did just filming, or if he did, you know, just some editing for something else, and, you know, that would have been okay. I'm not saying 2 hours you need to spend doing my stuff or whatever, but that was the whole purpose. Like, I was going to help him so that he could help me. And that's why I was totally aggravated. I mean, full on. I mean, I was stressed out even, you know, more because of other things. And then that just, you know, was more, and it amplified it more. So he really is disgusting. And so then after I guess this recording in the morning, I said to him, first of all, it's not my truth. It's the actual truth, and I will never stop telling it. You slapped my face and pushed me twice. I didn't attack your son. I was talking to him. I wasn't even yelling. I wasn't angry. Second of all, I don't scream all the time. Yes, I have screamed at you. So what? You're an adult. I didn't make your son cry. He was crying until you came up. He wasn't crying until you came upstairs like a maniac and started to assault me. You made him cry. 3, I didn't say you beat me up. I said you slapped my face and pushed me twice. You weren't trying to get me out of the house. You were trying to stop me from telling him the truth because he's a nun, whatever. If you were so worried about the rage you keep claiming I was in, you would have stopped me from coming into your house. But that's not what happened, because I wasn't in a rage. I wasn't even angry, and you know it. Just because you need to tell another lie to protect yourself from the actual truth doesn't make it the truth. 4, I don't steal. Again, there's a name. I'm just going to say from my ex-husband. WTF are you even talking about? So what if I had sex with you in his bed? We weren't married and he hadn't even slept in it yet. Maybe you should focus more on the fact that you were having sex with me while your wife was at home waiting for you. Did you tell her you were going to Publix, or was it another lie? 5, I am the victim, just like your ex-wife was the victim, just like, and there's another woman who I believe was also a victim based on things that I've heard and whatever. Probably just like, and then I go and mention a couple other people he's dated in the past. You have a pattern of abuse. You lose control when your lies unravel. They say the truth will set you free, and for you, it sets free a monster. 6, stop threatening me. Haven't you done enough? And finally, that recording doesn't show a psychopath. I wasn't out of control. Sure, I was yelling at you. So what? Only an actual psychopath would think it was crazy because they don't have emotion. What is amazing is how I point out all the ways you are an actual psychopath and I didn't even realize it at the time. I also enjoyed how, when I was done yelling, you baited me twice to continue. I thought you were just being crazy. And it's so funny because in the recording, I actually say that I don't know why you're talking about those things because it had nothing to do with the conversation. I guess the recordings of his ex-wife were also baited conversation. At this point, I wonder if she was even an alcoholic. I never saw any proof. It kills me that you have custody of your son because of me. He's only in danger because of you. It's only a matter of time before he starts to question your lies. What will you do? Punch him, hit him, push him. I pray he has enough common sense to just ignore the lies until he can go to college and be rid of you. So then he goes on and on and on about all this crap and how he has all my contact information, which he does because I asked him for help to create this like list for the real estate thing or whatever. And so he was kind of trying to help me with it. So he absolutely has every friend, every contact, every email, every phone number, 100% he does. And he said he's going to like call them and tell his truth. And I think that I'm tough and he wasn't going to let me terrorize his son. Stop with your lies, blah, blah, blah. It was someone else who helped him, not me. I'm good at pretending to be a good person. I'm like, I'm not even good at pretending. Not at all. Like, that's not even my thing. He says, move on. We're broken up. Stop pretending you're a victim. You're not. You're a controlling monster who gets enraged when you don't get your way. Look in the mirror. So I say, you are insane. I have never gone off on a person. I have never gone off on another person. And another person is my daughter's real mom. Duh, everyone knows that. And it's kind of an inside joke. Obviously, whatever. Stop threatening me. I am no liar, and anything you would say to them would be a lie. I was completely peaceful. I came over to get a bag and talk to his son. Talk to him like I've done many times before. His son cries when he is at a party and nothing is even happening to him. And that's because you refuse to deal with his anxiety and the issues stemming from your behavior and from your ex-wife's because God only knows what went on for 10 years. Of course you don't want to send him to therapy. Too afraid he would talk? Blah, blah, blah. Helped you get custody? Question mark. I paid for your divorce. That was me. You didn't even have anything before that because you were never divorced even though you lied about it. I drove and paid for us to go to whatever, and it goes on and on and on. And listen, I was just me, whatever. In the end, it's funny. I said, now I'm a monster because you're a monster. Could you be any sadder or prove my psychopath theory anymore? Because it's something that he would always do, just mimic my words and use the words I would use to then describe me, which was so strange at the time because it's just strange. Like, it's like he has words. I mean, he's not, English isn't, well, I guess technically English isn't second language, but he's lived in this country since he was 10. Believe me when I say he speaks better English than I do. And I've lived here all my life. He says, move on with your life, sad sack. Not surprising because I say, could you be any sadder? So now I'm a sad sack and you see how it goes. Stop spreading your lies and I'll never text, talk, or see you again. And I put, before I blocked him, I will never, ever stop telling the truth. I'm not some wallflower you can manipulate into silence. Because I'm not. I'm not even remotely. So this is second part. Yay, part 2. Now I feel like at this point he would have to really go out of his way. I mean, I guess he technically could email me, which, whatever. He really would now have to start going out of his way to contact me because he has really no way of contacting me now. I mean, I didn't think, to block him from WhatsApp. We don't really use it as the thing. We used it during one of our hurricanes because the phone connections weren't great, but internet was up. So it was easy to use that. I don't even know what to say. And when I was, replaying the recording so I could figure out like what parts and like what minutes or whatever I could play that wouldn't have names and things like that in it. My my daughter was in the room with me and she was listening, and she was laughing a little bit because obviously I can yell, like everyone knows that I can. I have emotion, real emotion, and I get frustrated and angry like normal people. And so she was laughing a little bit, and I started listening and hearing myself, and a lot of it I'm crying because it's so funny because I wasn't mad. I was so upset because he would promise all the time to do this for me, and he never did. Never. And it was just so upsetting, like, whatever. And so I started to cry, like I am now. And my daughter's like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. And, I feel bad because she thinks that it's a sadness and she wants to help. But there's nothing you can do. And I constantly remind her, crying is okay. Like, it's fine. It doesn't always mean you're sad. You can cry for lots of reasons. I typically cry out of frustration a lot. And it's fine to have emotion because it is. And, it's nice that she feels bad. At least I know she's not a psychopath. But, whatever. It's completely heartbreaking. It's completely heartbreaking. So whatever. So that's what happened this morning. I mean, it's like only 1 p.m. And like, this is what I was dealing with when I woke up. Yeah. So good. Whatever. Great. Yay. Never a dull moment in Coley's world, I guess. Yeah, so whatever, it's all good. I'm fine now. To all my friends out there, I'm sorry if he calls or emails or texts or, whatever. I don't think that he will. I feel like he knows that's a career damaging move. But I don't think that psychopaths really think about that so much as they think about, the thrill of doing whatever it is that they need to be doing. So again, I apologize immediately. Yeah, so that's it. That was my whole morning. I pray the afternoon is like not as dramatic. But I guess we'll see. And so that's it. So thanks for joining in. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Please leave comments. I love them. Thank you to the person who did leave a comment. It helps. It really does. It helps me. I feel like it helps everyone else to, get their stories out. So if you have, stories, please share them. I would love to hear from you. Have a nice day. See you possibly tomorrow or maybe the day after, I guess, if nothing really goes on tomorrow. That's super interesting. Enjoy your quarantine. Stay safe, wash your hands, and don't leave your house. Have a nice day.